July 22, 1985, Maricopa, Arizona. It was just after midnight when 19-year-old Florenda Benitez and 31-year-old Carrol Moody began their overnight shift. July 22, 1985, Maricopa, Arizona. It was just after midnight when 19-year-old Florenda Benitez and 31-year-old Carrol Moody began their overnight shift at the Circle K convenience store off Highway 347. The Arizona heat still hung heavy in the air, the kind of night where even the silence felt charged. Inside the store, fluorescent lights buzzed, soda coolers hummed, and the slow rhythm of late-night routine began. They were both used to the quiet hours. Florenda, cheerful and full of ambition, was working part-time to support her family while preparing for college. Carrol, a single mother of two, often took extra shifts to make ends meet. To friends and co-workers they were responsible, dependable and kind. But before sunrise, both women vanished without a trace. Around 3:15 a.m., the store suddenly went dark to the outside world. Customers who pulled in for a late-night snack or fuel found the doors locked, the counter empty. Inside, registers were left open, cigarette cartons scattered on the floor, and a faint smear of blood was discovered near the rear exit. There were no immediate signs of robbery. No distress calls were made. And strangest of all, the store's surveillance camera footage was missing. When officers arrived later that morning, the only clue left behind was the unease of something terribly wrong. 3 days later, Florenda's body was found floating in a nearby irrigation canal. Her injuries were brutal. Bruises indicated a struggle, and there were signs of sexual assault. Just over a week later, hikers discovered Carrol's remains buried in a shallow desert grave off a dirt road. Her hands had been bound, and ligature marks on her neck suggested she was strangled. The town was rocked. Murders were rare in Maricopa, especially ones this violent. News reports flooded in, and the sheriff's department announced a full-scale investigation. But even then, something about their response felt oddly restrained. Initial suspicions turned toward a drifter who had been seen loitering near the store that night. He was detained and interrogated, but quickly released for lack of evidence. Then attention turned to Carrol's ex-boyfriend, known for volatile behavior and a history of domestic disputes. His alibi checked out and a polygraph test cleared him. That's when rumors started to circulate about someone unexpected, a local police officer. He had allegedly taken a personal interest in Carrol, showing up during her shifts uninvited, lingering too long, making her feel uneasy. A friend later came forward saying Carrol had told her, "If something happens to me, look at him." This officer was interviewed briefly, but the records of that interview were sealed. No charges. No follow-ups. One of the detectives, according to internal chatter, had written a note in his logbook, "Not worth the heat." That page would later disappear from the official case file. As the investigation dragged on, family members noticed something chilling. Case files were missing key documents. The security footage from that night was officially labeled lost in transport. DNA evidence taken from Florenda's clothing was later declared contaminated. Even an audio recording from a 911 call placed just before 3 a.m. was accidentally erased. Whistleblowers hinted that a cover-up was at play. Internal memos mentioned patrol logs being altered, and one officer allegedly ordered subordinates not to log their movements that night. In 1992, an anonymous letter sent to the local paper accused the sheriff's office of protecting one of their own, citing a blue wall of silence. Florenda's family eventually moved away, unable to bear the lack of answers. Carrol's children grew up without closure. By 2000, the case had gone cold, receiving only the occasional review by rookie detectives looking to cut their teeth on old files. Internet sleuths discovered discrepancies. Reddit users noted the absence of a timestamped patrol vehicle near the Circle K that night, despite official logs claiming otherwise. One forum poster claimed to have seen a retired officer entering a storage unit late at night, later revealed to contain unregistered weapons, uniforms and case files. The statute of limitations on many of the related offenses had long expired. A 2018 podcast episode titled "Circle of Silence" reignited local interest in the case. Dozens of tips came in, but none panned out. The police declined to comment. It's been nearly 40 years. 2 women gone. One desert town forever stained. Evidence lost, mishandled or buried. And a community that slowly, deliberately stopped asking questions. To this day, the Circle K murders remain unsolved. And the silence surrounding them may be the loudest indictment of all. If stories of injustice, mystery, and hidden truth strike a chord with you, you're in the right place. At Echoes of the Unsolved, we breathe life into forgotten cases that still cry out for answers. Like this video if you believe these stories deserve to be heard. Subscribe and turn on notifications to join our growing community of truth seekers. Let's push these cases back into the spotlight, because some echoes refuse to fade until justice is served. This isn't just a story about two murdered women, it's a story about systemic failure, corruption cloaked in authority, and a justice system that sometimes chooses protection over truth. Carrol Moody and Florenda Benitez deserved answers. So did their families. Justice may be blind, but in Maricopa, it may have also been silenced. Don't forget to subscribe to Echoes of the Unsolved, where every shadow has a name and every silence tells a story.